Hello friends, this is Dr. Sudhan Sharma from School of Computers and Information Sciences, and in today's session we will be discussing about the graphical presentation of data using spreadsheets. After going through this session, you will be able to understand the basic features of the charts generation using MS Excel and how to create worksheets and computation of the data, and you will be able to understand data handling through Excel and prepare the data for preparation of the charts. That is, you will be able to understand the visualization of the data using charts. So main focus of today's session is to work with charts, because in everyday transaction we are generating enormous amount of data and it is very difficult to analyze the data and to identify that how much data is relevant, which chunk of the data is relevant, which part of the data should be analyzed for a typical analysis. So we need to understand how to record the data, because data are of different types. We are having nominal data, ordinal data, we are having categorical data. So different types of data are there. How to handle the different types of data, and which of the charts are actually best suited to handle which type of data. These are some of the understandings which are very much required when you are going for the analysis of the data. So chart analysis is very important. So understanding this concept will really help you in developing your project reports, and will help you to develop various presentations. So in Excel, we are having a variety of charts. We are having bar charts, we are having pie charts, line charts, area curves, we are having scatter plots, we are having radar charts, and each and every chart is having its own relevance, its own importance, its own limitations. We cannot use each and every chart at any point of time. So we will be discussing that which chart is suitable, and how different types of data are handled. So firstly, you should understand that how to prepare your data. Many a times when you are performing, say, your questionnaire analysis, your data is not fully filled. The respondent might not have given his or her response for a particular question. Then at that point of time you need to populate that data. That means how to handle the missing values. At that point of time that is the data imputation mechanism is to be used, and for data imputation you may be going for class wise mean or class wise median, or you may be going for mean or median mechanism to populate the data by using the data from the neighboring cells. So before preparing any chart or before preparing any graph or doing an analysis, firstly you are supposed to prepare the data. You are supposed to identify the missing values, you are supposed to identify the outliers, and once the data is prepared, then only you can go for the subsequent analysis. So preparing your data is very important step of any analysis, because many a times there are situations that when you give a questionnaire or when you are collecting the data, the respondent didn't give you the proper response and you are not able to record that response. Under that situation, there are missing data values, and many a times you are also having the outliers. So handling outliers, handling missing values are two important components. The moment you are handling the missing values, you are using the statistics option. Likewise, you can go for the class wise means, or you can go for the simple mean or the median technique to populate the missing values, and then only you can have a data in a streamlined manner. And to further streamline and to tune the data, you are supposed to take care of the outliers. So preparing the data for analysis is a very important session, and in order to work with the data preparation, you need to have the understanding of the variables. And the variables are actually categorized into two categories. You are having the categorical variables and the numerical variables. The categorical variables are also known as qualitative variables, and the numerical variables are also known as quantitative variables. The categorical or qualitative variables are further divided into three, that is your dichotomous, nominal, and the cardinal or ordinal variables. The dichotomous variables are actually binary in nature. That means they are having the two states to record. That means variables like having the response true or false or yes no. Then you are dealing with the dichotomous variables. But the cardinal or the ordinal variables are having three or more states or categories, and they are in order. Whereas in the nominal variables, you are also having three or more categories, but there is no order. Likewise, color coding of the eye lens, black, brown, blue, green, gray, or blood group, say AB, O positive, B, AB, so and so forth. So these type of variables are in fact nominal variables where the ordering doesn't matter. Now, so far as the quantitative variables are considered, you are having two type of variables. You are having the continuous variables and the discrete variables. The continuous variables are actually relating to the real numbers, that is the decimal places depending upon the measuring capacity, say, of the instrument, like you are having the weighing scale or the length measurement, or say time, say stopwatch is there. So these instruments are actually recording the continuous variable, whereas the discrete variables are actually the variables measured to the numerical values stored against some mathematical functions and are used for the aggregation of some whole numbers that can be counted, as if it's the count of the students attending the class. So that is a discrete part. You are having different statistics to deal with the continuous variables, to deal with the discrete variables. Likewise, we are having the binomial variables where the discrete statistics applies over there, and we are having the Poisson's distribution where the continuous variables are actually analyzed. So you are identifying the statistics, and you are supposed to work with different type of variables. So transforming, once your data is prepared, then only you can transform your data into chart to have the proper insights into the data. So likewise, say you are collecting the data about, say, the what type of food people actually like. So you might have different categories of food, say Chinese, continental, Korean, Spanish, Mughlai, Indian, and so forth. When you ask the question, the respondent will give their opinion, and you are supposed to now consolidate the data, and you may use now the different formulas. Likewise, countif value is there, or count function, or different type of function which we had discussed in our earlier sessions of functions and formula. You may use those functions to consolidate the data, and once the data is consolidated, now you can transform this consolidated data into the respective chart. Likewise, it might be a bar chart or it might be a pie chart. So when you are transforming the data into the chart, it is very important to understand the identification of the variable is very important, because then only you are able to understand that which say the discrete variables are under the choice. You cannot apply the statistics which is meant for the continuous variable. So secondly, as I had already discussed, that identification of missing values is very important part, and identification of the outliers. Handling of these two components will actually benefit you to have a proper insights into the data. So it is not like that any chart suits for all the situations. It depends upon the type of variables, type of data which we are handling with. Likewise, if we are working with, say, dichotomous variables, and dichotomous variables are the variables which are having two states to record. That means either true, false, or say yes, no. So under that situation, it is where the pie charts are better in option to work with. Whereas when we are having a cardinal or ordinal data set, the outcome displayed using the bar charts or histogram will be best suited. Whereas for the continuous data, histograms works well, and for the discrete data we are having the column chart, bar chart. Now the pie chart provides best result when data is calculated in the form of the percentages. And many a times, say we are having, say, multiple products whose performance in multiple years is recorded, and year wise we want to see that in all the years we want to see the performance of all the products. Under that situation, we cannot use the pie chart, because for each year we need to draw the pie chart separately. We cannot draw the pie chart for all the years all together into a single pie chart. So the option, the bar chart will be, or that is the column chart will be a better option in comparison to the pie chart, when we need to have the comparison of multiple products for multiple years onto the same chart. But if you want to compare multiple products for a particular year, then your pie chart will be a good option. Now, what are the steps to create a chart? Then you are supposed to select the insert tab, and within the insert tab the charts option is available. The moment you select the, firstly you are supposed to prepare a worksheet, populate the worksheet with the data. Likewise, say you are having the data, say you are having commodities, you are having price for shop A and price for shop B, and the commodity are say rice or butter and sugar and milk and so on and so forth, and prices for shop A and shop B are reflected, and you applied a formula for your choice, that if price of shop A is greater than shop B, then shop B, and if price of otherwise shop A will be preferred. So accordingly you will be having your choice. Now you want to map your choice onto the graph. So you select the data, and after selecting the data you go to the insert tab, choose the charts option, and then recommended charts will appear in the charts option. The moment you select the recommended chart, different type of charts will be visible to you, and they are being recommended by the Excel automatically. And you can select the chart, say we go for the column chart, or say bar chart, or whatever you feel like. So accordingly the chart will be reflected, and thereafter you can customize the chart by changing the title, and you can go for the change of the legends like chart axis and requirements and so on and so forth. So this is how you can create your own chart. Now, one of the very important mechanism is your cross tabulation and charting. Cross tabulation is actually the sole part which helps you a lot when you are going for data with multiple dimensions. When you want to see how the performance, how the data is having impact over another data, then you are supposed to work with cross tabulation. The cross tabulation part is actually managed with the help of the pivot tables, and you can directly use pivot charts to chart the data which is tabulated through pivot tables. So pivot tables are used for the cross tabulation of the data, and pivot charts are actually used in charting the cross tabulated data. So the cross tabulation is in fact a process to validate the relationship among the various variables, and it helps in setting up the correlation among them. So if you want to understand what is the impact, if I change one variable with other variable, if I incorporate multiple variables and want to see the impact of multiple variable on a particular variable, then you're supposed to work with the pivot tables. So pivot tables are actually used to rearrange different variables having data in respective columns. Furthermore, they are analyzed to generate the required report. Now there are steps to work with the pivot table. In order to insert a pivot table, you are supposed to select the insert tab, and within the insert tab a pivot table option appears at the very left corner, and you select this option, and the moment you select this, a pop-up window appears where you are supposed to select the range first, which relates to the data on which you want to apply your pivot table, for which you want to generate your pivot table. So by selecting that range, after that you want the pivot table onto the same worksheet or a new worksheet, then you go for your choice. As if you may go for onto the same worksheet, then you select for the existing worksheet and click OK. And if an cross tab option appears on the right side of your worksheet. By dragging the respective columns, likewise you can drag your status you want to have the decision over your status, then accordingly you can track the different variables into the options. Likewise, columns option is there, rows option is there, and your status option is there. So within the status option, that means your choice for shop A or shop B. So within the columns you can pass on, say, commodities, you want to pass on, say, in the rows option you pass on the commodities. In the columns option, say, you pass on both the variables, that is shop A and shop B, and you want your result on the status option, you drag it onto the output, then automatically a cross tabulation will be fabricated. Now you can use this data to develop your chart by using the pivot chart options. I hope you are able to understand what is cross tabulation, how it is different from the different simple data, how you can prepare your pivot table, and by using the understanding which is delivered in this session, you are able to understand what are the different types of data and which chart is actually suitable for which type of data. So this will help you a lot in performing your work in Excel, and will actually strengthen your understanding when you work on actual data. Thank you very much. बस अब मैं